that, and that's why he paved the way for them to win the World Series this year.
I don't care about any of that. I just like that I was all over a guy that probably win 3 more of these MVPs. He's a freak.
What were the numbers? What was the
7-1? I got it.
Oh, yeah,
7-1.
nice.
Yeah, that'll work. So it's nice. Well, when you make a preseason bet on futures with whether it's team totals or individual awards, you get long odds, you get good odds, you get but you have to wait. You got to wait. So it's what it is, and the waiting can be difficult, can be very difficult. But
some might say it's the hardest part.
Yes, Mr. Pettywood, wish he was still here. But as it stands today, we're doing a little waiting of our own. There's a buzz in the air, not about North Alabama, but a certain player today that could, maybe, perhaps, we'll see, waiting anxiously, hoping that will perhaps flip his commitment verbally to Florida State.
Really?
That is
okay.
It's been out there all week. I've been not so subtle in my efforts to hint at these things.
Everybody knows who you're talking about because you've been on it, but wow, you're calling your shot.
Well, it's in the air. It is in the air. It has been bantied about. Now, I don't know if we get it today or does it spill over into tomorrow? Does it spill over to next week? Does it ever happen? I can't get a 100%. You know, that time that I talked about a certain defensive lineman, I was like, oh, this is going to happen. This feels good. This one feels really good as well, but it's not as with the same amount of certainty that I approach it. Did you have fun doing the Third and Lang piece? I want to direct people to warchant.com, doing the third for Tom's Third and Lang piece, kind of getting into I think this gets a little bit into the reasons people feel certain things about this team when they watch them. I think that's really kind of like they like them. They love them. They love that they're undefeated. They love that they're having the season that they're having, but they feel like there's something missing. And I think this helps kind of flesh out a little bit of what's missing.
Yeah, I mean, I did.
It tells a story.
This was an honest to goodness case of just, it's North Alabama week.
Yeah,
so
of
let's
course.
dive into the numbers. And I read the Henshaw piece on Warchant and talking about you are what you are. And
After 10 games.
He's right. It's 10 games. That's the resume. That's who you're going to be. That's who you need to expect to be, because we're always talking about the pursuit of this perfection thing. And we're doing it in, like, coaches do it and you say, oh, well, whatever. You reach excellence along the way. I get it. But for us, I think we're still holding out ourselves and saying that there's more out there. And there could be.
I think there could be with health, with a return of health.
Sure. They've had poor injury luck this year.
They really have. And it's all on one side of the ball.
Yeah. It really
very
is.
Annoying.
And that's to say nothing of the flu game. I'm just talking about injuries.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not been easy for them to operate. So I said, all right, I just wanted to start by looking at the depth of the passes because, you know, before the bye week, we were very reliant on the deep ball 20-plus yards. And it was well over 20% at a clip, which is more than 1 in 5 attempts were downfield. And we were completing them. Jordan was completing them at a lower rate than he was last year. The yards per attempt was way down. And so I thought, all right, well, let's see if it's different now. You know, the split between the short passes and the long passes.
It is.
You know how it goes. It's like pulling on a thread, and I had to stop at some point. There's more I could have gotten into.
You could have, yeah.
But I wanted to know, all right, I'm not calling it FSU's identity, but what do the numbers say Florida State's identity is? And the cool thing is, you know, the partnership that we have with On3, we now have access to Sports Info Solutions, which is really, I mean, a nice resource to have. We've always had PFF, which is good for, I think, the basics, like snap counts.
It's just finding out who played, how many snaps, where the depths of throws are.
Correct.
Yeah, those are the best. Because PFF, outside of that,
yeah, like I don't care.
Bag.
I don't care if PFF thinks you're the best linebacker or the worst offensive lineman.
They don't get that right. They don't know what your assignment was. They don't know. Right.
The color coding and all that stuff, don't really care. But when you could put pins on a map, like the geography of football, how it goes, PFF, extremely useful. But then Sports Info Solutions, I think, does a better job of the overall advanced analytics. So I was thinking, all right, let's take a look and see what we can find. And it led me in a direction that says this offense is more productive in the most basic way, which is points per game. But it is less efficient. Pretty much across the board, it's less efficient.
It feels less efficient when you watch it.
Yeah. Now, there are reasons for that. Like we're talking about. Injury luck is a big-time reason for it. When you don't have 5 of your receivers against Pitt, and that's one of your 10 sample sizes, that's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a little bit. I think this year you're playing better defenses marginally than last year. But all that to say, the numbers took me in an interesting place where you're like, they kind of agree with what we see with our eyes, which is good. This is a really good offense. Don't get us wrong, but it's not the blow your doors off type of offense that we thought it was going to be, say, in July or August.
Yeah, and there are a lot, like you alluded to, a ton of reasons for that. You've had a banged up group consistently for the entirety of the second half of the season. Some players, you and I, now we don't want to get into this because it's a little bit behind the curtains and a little bit into the weeds and a little bit into pissing Mike Norvell off. But some players we've suspected were banged up and playing through it as far back as the second game of the season.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there are a couple
the
of guys.
Offensive line empirically before the season started,
That is
Robert
correct.
hardly could play.
Yeah, and so we've watched a lot of that. It's fun because we're so close to the end of the season already, which is depressing. That part of it's depressing, but what's fun is you're undefeated. But also what it's done, it has amplified and accelerated the need for a fan, a diehard, a Nole looking forward at what's possible and where we're headed and what's still to come and what does the recruiting class look like and how does this continue to evolve, because it has been a really short period of time that they went from not mattering to mattering a lot. I mean, that's a simple way of saying this, and it's true. Florida State was irrelevant at 5-7, and now, as we sit here today, they are in the college football playoff. You go from not mattering, sub 500, to in the college football playoff. That is crazy. Now, that's as we sit here today. Of course, they got to take care of business and all that other stuff, but that's a lot to wrap your mind around in a short period of time, and it's a lot to kind of beyond the eye test, get a handle on. Okay, so all of these things have come together to lead us to a place where we're really excited. But can it be sustained? You know, because Keon Coleman, and this is a safe guess, is going to take it on down the road to the NFL. He's going to get drafted in the first round. I don't see any reason Johnny Wilson would be back next year. He can't elevate his draft stock any. He's going to take it on down the road. Obviously, Jordan Travis is not going to be your quarterback next year. And so on and so on. Trey Benson will not be your star running back next year. A lot of guys on this team, Kalen DeLoach will not be here next year. Tatum Bethune will not be here next year. Jared Verse will not be here next year. When you start saying those names out loud, the sustainability conversation comes up, and you do think to yourself, well, these are key cogs to a team that turned it all around. Missing all of those guys, what kind of impact are we talking about? And yet, I would say to you, in the right way, in a way that is not besmirching any of their legacies or any of the good things any of the players I just mentioned have done to help turn this around. I think there's a way to look at next season. First of all, on the surface, next season, you and I did have this conversation this morning. And I loved it because I got to thinking about road trips, and I got to thinking about the kind of anticipation that
uniform
one has.
clashes.
Yeah, all that stuff. Next year's schedule's awesome. It's really cool. I mean, you get teams you never see and never play, and SMU and Cal, and you go to Ireland to face Georgia Tech. You've got Clemson at home. You've got Florida at home. You play Notre Dame. You've got all these games where the schedule's tough but good and interesting. You got North Carolina.
Yeah, 5 road games next year because, again, it's a 7-5 split. And the destinations, 4 of them, are Miami for the rivalry game where we'll take over the stadium as we do.
As we do.
Dallas.
Awesome. I love Dallas-Fort Worth.
Dublin.
I love Dublin.
And the final D, the dump of a town. That is
Notre
South
Dame.
Bend, Notre
South
Dame.
Bend, yeah. But a fun trip because we always –
Chicago.
Yeah, I was going to say we always end up in Chicago and have a great time there. Hopefully you won't be sickly this time around and we can have a ball together in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And then we take it over to the dump of the town, and, that's fine.
Are we going?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Why would we not? It's Chicago. Come on, buddy. The food is good. The people are good. It's a good time.
It's that whole drive to the dump of a town thing.
I don't mind. I don't mind it. I mean, we're going there to kick their ass. This would be more enjoyable because the last time we were there, we were sacrificial lambs.
Yeah. No, we were there.
And we both knew it.
We were there for the hospitality.
We were there to have a good time. And we did have a good time. That pregame was awesome. The
Not
snow
Notre
was
Dame's
on the
hospitality.
No. But not the fans, no. But the tailgate was awesome. The pre-gaming was awesome. I know you didn't feel well, but we had a good time.
No, walking around the lots, there was some schmuck who was like, hey, imagine being here, with this team, this ridiculous team that has no chance.
Are you kidding? Yeah.
It's like, hey, Lou Holtz.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Oh, no. It was funny, though, because you can be as high and mighty as you'd like when you haven't done a damn thing in forever.
I mean, you're sitting in Mordor here in the Dark Ages, and this dump of a town that hasn't won a damn thing in the way of college football national championships in 30 odd, and you're the one?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah. No, it's great.
Sir.
Yeah. No. I laughed and remember the chick.
Yeah. In 48 hours, you'll still be here. I'll be in Florida.
Yeah.
Thanks, pal.
You'll be all right.
See ya.
Yeah. And oh, by the way, God help you if we get it back turned around.
Which we have.
In
which we do.
In the things in which we do.
So one thing I'll say about this season, the depressing part of it nearly being over. Look, man, if you go the distance, you don't have to win the whole thing necessarily, but you got 5 more games.
Mm-hmm.
In this day and age of college football, versus 15 years ago, 20 years ago, it really was kind of the end. This was the swan
You definitively have 3 more games. Period.
Well, 4.
Well, as of right now, you have 3. You have the game this weekend. You've got the Florida game, and then you've got the Louisville game.
But we're bowl eligible, so we're going to be playing a 4th.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
But you could.
And by the way, we were bowl eligible after week 6.
That's correct. Yeah.
Which was not something just to gloss over.
But if we go the distance, we're only at the 2/3 mark. We've got a third of the season to go. If you can go the distance, that's the positive way to spin it.
Well, the point I was making is that as you vetted the numbers and we took a better look at this team, it lends itself to all of these questions. It's so fun to kind of ask yourself, what are we going to be next year? And I think when you marry that with the fact that they are recruiting their ass off right now, and they've already proven themselves year over year with the transfer portal to fill in the gaps, and there are fewer gaps now that you're recruiting better the high school ranks. And in addition, there are aspects of this offense that can improve with other people involved in the offense. And that could be taken the wrong way by people. They might say that's a shot at Jordan. I don't think it is. Jordan provides certain things we cannot replace. I mean, he's got a unique skill set. But I think the passing game could get better. I'll just tell you that right now.
So there are 2 plays this season that I knew in the moment that I was going to miss. Both of them are oddly to Kyle Morlock. Has nothing to do with the intended receiver. It's a coincidence. They're both plays in which there are unabated rushers coming right at him. He makes the guy miss. He rolls out. It should be a sack by all rights.
Right.
By all rights. Rolls out, and it's a gain of 8 or a gain of 12. And only he can really put all of those tools together fluidly and make the play. A lot of guys might make the rusher miss, and then they'll airmail it into the sidelines or throw a pick. But it's those moments more than the bombs, more than the fade balls to Keon that I'm going to miss, because those erase mistakes. Last year at Florida, I don't know that you're going to have many quarterbacks in the history of this program that can do what Jordan did that
night. No, it's incredible. By the way, not for nothing, it'll be interesting to see in the Florida game, because I don't think it'll happen this weekend against North Alabama. Better not. Does he make those plays in those moments of which you describe? Because right now he just keeps flowing backwards and getting sacked by 15 yards. Right now he continues to think that he's not going to get hit and goes back 15 yards and pats the ball. That's got to stop. That's been going on twice in the last 2 weeks, and there was a play like it a few weeks prior to that I'm not entirely.
No, the last 2 games probably 6 times. It's 5, 6 times.
Yeah, let's stop doing that, because that is problematic as we move forward. You got to. I don't know where that happened. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened there.
The other thing I'd say, just this offense has been more productive yet less situationally successful. Red zone touchdown percentage, third downs.
Oh yeah.
Which
that's, again, short yardage that can't move anybody off the ball.
Yeah, it's the 2nd year in a row. But what's interesting is the stuff rate and the rate at which the running backs are hit at or behind the line of scrimmage is about the same as last year.
Right.
It's just that you don't have the home runs to go along with it. So it doesn't balance out. We were the number 1 team in Power 5 last year in terms of explosiveness on the ground. Number 1. We're in the 40s this year in Power 5. There's only 68 teams in Power 5. You drop 40 places. So the explosiveness factor is gone, and that's hurtful. But the thing I'd say is last year through 10 games, and I'd say that the future 2 opponents are about the same. You had Louisiana in game 11 and Florida in game 12, which wasn't a great defense.
And is it again?
Tomorrow, another, name your score, and then Florida, which has been a worse defense this year than last. We averaged 34 points a game last year through 10 games. We're at 38 this year. So they're finding a way to get the job done. And I think also, without the tinfoil hat taking over the conversation, this year has been an awful year for the whistle. I think that's worth 1 to 2 points a game. When you spread it out over the course of 10, I think there's probably 17 to 20 points that are floating out there because we can't get an ACC official and a crew to conduct a normal game.
Yeah, don't feed the fire there, man. That's we're gonna end up.
Objectively, that's fair though.
I think it kind of is.
It's worth a point or two, so you'd average 39 or 40 points a game.
Yeah. I think the officiating that we speak of is poor across the board. Every week I see a lot of things that just are mind-boggling, many of which have gone are the wrong way for us. Some have gone the right way for us. So I don't know. I just know that if they're going to, according to the the questions in the chat that we got on Wednesday, and the ones we get here when we're live, and the ones that we get tweeted at, and the ones we get emailed, if Florida State's going to be healthier, more efficient, and better on offense in the actual playoff, which is a possibility, and I know why it's on fans' minds, it's going to be because they untether and tell Jordan, you're running. You're running the ball. We are going to design runs for you, which you haven't been very successful at this year.
It's been awful.
Design runs have not worked out well. However, those plays in which you do make people miss and get outside the tackle box and they're in man and not looking at you, you're going to run to gain yards, not to get down. You're going to run. We're going to go make plays. There was a tenaciousness to making those plays a year ago. I get why you wanted to get through this whole season and put yourself in the position you're in now without getting hurt. So the thought was, and the mantra from the coaching staff has been, we don't need the extra 7, maybe even the potential 15. Go ahead and just take the 6 and get down or get out of bounds. But when you're playing in a playoff game and this is it, it's now or never, go make the plays. And there's a world of difference between the Jordan we've seen go make plays, because there's a risk you take when you're going to go for the extra 15, 30, or maybe it's a touchdown. And that risk is, can I beat this guy to this spot? And a lot of times the answer with Jordan when he's healthy is, yes, I can. Yeah. And if I can, I can make him miss.
Well, yeah, the answer to your question is fourth quarter Duke. I think he was more aggressive in that situation.
He knew we needed it. We were trailing.
Was he going for broke and trying to score on every play? No. But was it different than the rest of the games? Yeah. Yeah, it was. And it's what put us over the top. It's what finished the job. Yeah. So it's in there. It's
and when he does it changes games.
But otherwise, what's staggering is, again, according to SIS, in design run situations, last year Jordan averaged over 7 yards a run. This year, about half of that, 3 and change a run. 3 and change for design runs for Jordan? What in the world? And they're doing it at the same rate.
Yeah, and when you watch it, it's always clunky. It never looks right because they don't block it up. And you're like, oh man, he's got to make that guy miss, spin around that guy. That's a hell of a play for 2 yards.
Right.
Hell of a play for 2 yards.
And the example I point to a lot is second quarter at Clemson. He was fearless in that moment. There was just no space because that defense is really fast. But
their linebackers aren't fooling around.
They are not. No.
Their linebackers are what I want my linebackers to be. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. There's no doubt that buying a home can feel overwhelming, especially if it's your first home. You're worried about location, school zones, square footage, inspections, insurance, loan approvals, interest rates, and of course the price. Buying a home could be the most significant investment you've ever made. But there's good news. You have our friends at Legendary Home Loans, and they're on your side and in your corner. They're going to go to bat for you. Shannon Young from Legendary Home Loans can help first-time home buyers get up to $25,000 for your down payment. For first responders, veterans, teachers, military, and healthcare workers, and that's not all, Shannon is an expert navigator of the home loan terrain, and you can trust that he's going to get you the most competitive interest rates and guide you through the process every step of the way. Plus, Shannon will also get your closing costs reduced. It's the Hometown Heroes program at Legendary Home Loans. Give them a call today, 844-FSU-LOAN. That's 844-FSU-LOAN. Or go to FSUHomeLoans.com and ask for Shannon Young.
NMLS number 2270-146.
Warning. The following Zaxby's ad may contain messaging upsetting to Philadelphians. Zaxby's took the iconic Philly sandwich, the quote-unquote perfect Philly sandwich, and made it perfecter by putting fried chicken on it. That's right, fried chicken on a Philly. And while Philadelphia might find it offensive, you can find it at your local Zaxby's. Finally, the Philly done right. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Orthopedic pain and injury deserves effective treatment options now, so you feel better fast. Whether you have joint pain that won't subside or an urgent orthopedic injury, we are the specialists to get you back on your feet. And there's only one thing better than fast care: expert care. We believe you deserve both. TOC, only experts. Learn more at teamtoc.com.
Just a call away. 222-7722. AC and electric is what we do. Parker Services. Comfort's just a call away.
Invest in a Peak Performance membership and you'll buy peace of mind in knowing that you're extending the life of your system and probably saving money on your power bill too. The program includes comprehensive tune-ups that keep your system running at its maximum efficiency. And Peak Performance members get many benefits, including priority service. Members jump to the front of the line when their comfort system fails, and a 15% discount on all parts. The Peak Performance membership pays for itself over and over again. Call today and have peace of mind. And if it's time for a new home comfort system, Parker sells only the best, including Mitsubishi electric heating and air conditioning.
Parker Services. Comfort's just a call away.
Florida license number CMC 050334.
Power Mill Training Academy equips motivated athletes focused on baseball and softball with the specific tools to reach their true potential. Now, you'll read that if you go to their website, but I'm here to tell you that, look, whether it's your daughter wanting to play softball, your son wants to play baseball, or maybe they just want to have fun and get the most out of their abilities, and that's where Power Mill comes into play. They've got coaches and camps that teach for every level of play for your son or your daughter. To learn more, go to PowerMillSports.com. We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Welcome back to the Jeff Cameron Show, sponsored by Legendary Home Loans, a mortgage experience designed around speed, simplicity, and customer service. Before you buy your next home, contact our friend Shannon Young with Legendary Home Loans. Visit FSUHomeLoans.com. FSUHomeLoans.com.
Georgia, Tennessee, Louisville, and Miami, which is a fun game to take a look at. Because you could ask aloud the same question. Which of these teams show up? Dolphins and Las Vegas, 49ers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Jacksonville and Tennessee. And the free play is a good game, too. That is Clemson and North Carolina, which I think is a fun one as well. So he'll tell you how to get that. Worthy of kind of watching. I'll tell you, that's a game I want to watch at the very least, is that Clemson North Carolina game.
Yes.
I want to watch that game.
Yeah.
Curious about that game.
A touchdown on the opening line, and it really hasn't budged more than a half point.
At one point, it was 7.5, and I think I've seen as low as 6.5, as high as 7. It's a big deal. We're crossing some thresholds here.
Yeah, no doubt.
There he is. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, joins us as he's wont to do on a Friday. How are you, good sir?
I'm good. What are we going to do next week? I am off Thursday and Friday.
I'm off Thursday and Friday, too, my friend. We could record early in the week if you'd like.
I'm not going to be available. I'll be traveling.
All right. Why don't you just send me your picks, and I'll tell the world in a very entertaining fashion.
Okay. All right. If not, the only way we could do it live would be Wednesday.
All right. Well, we could maybe do it Wednesday. I'll be around. Okay. I'm here. I'm hanging out before I head down to Gainesville to watch Florida State and Florida after the holiday. And then from there, I'll be off to Charlotte, as we all will be as a staff for the ACC Championship game.
All right. So let's try to shoot for our normal time on Wednesday. So, all right. So let's talk about the game.
Well, I'm more interested in your game this week, and I'll tell you why. We can talk about our game. That's fine. I mean, kind of played out. It was an entertaining game, at least.
Yeah.
It was a game where, there's a point in that game, Lee. I'm sure you felt this too. It was, I think Florida State. Yeah, I know now. Florida State's up 2 scores, and Miami has nothing going in the passing game. And bless that kid's heart, he's a tough kid. I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
The Emory Jones kid. And he throws that prayer, and it works because somehow Knowles has got his eyes closed and diving out of bounds. So instead of a pick 6, we've got a 7-point game. And I think it made everybody at Doak squirm a little bit. But at the end of the day, I am very curious how that game, is viewed by, I guess, you or other Miami fans, and then also how you think it affects this week's game against Louisville, because obviously now Van Dyke has got to go back out there and play.
Can we get someone else?
It is weird. How do you explain what has happened to Tyler Van Dyke, who 2 years ago most everybody thought very highly of, and now it looks like he's shot, can't play?
You know what? If I had to make a guess, and I'm going to make an educated, I think he had a concussion. I don't think it was just a leg and a back injury. I think it might have been a leg and a concussion. That's just my guess. You don't go, against Texas A&M, he looked great. He throws 5 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
He was like so confident. And I went to the game, but I went back and looked at it and just reading his eyes. He looked focused. And then a couple weeks later, it looked like, his eyes look like they're rolling almost, like he can't figure out what's going on. The last couple weeks, the week before in the NC State game, after the second quarter, he was not going to throw the ball down the field. He didn't until the last play of the game when they were down, 2 touchdowns. He threw it 35, 40 yards downfield. Everything was a slant or shorter. That just tells me he's not processing. And then it's not like he's mobile or anything.
Right.
I think the biggest problem that Miami had is the way that they approach the game. I love Maury as a recruiter. Maybe he did I don't know, I'm not in the locker room, probably a decent motivator. When you're tied 10-10, from that point until Florida State went up 2 touchdowns, the approach was just way too conservative. And I think that's one of his many problems. He is just not a good game. I would have gone over to my offensive coordinator. I would say, we're going for it. I don't care if he doesn't have a whole lot of time. We are going to be aggressive. And they were not aggressive.
I think they were looking to protect him. I think they felt like he maybe wasn't ready for the moment. They looked like they called plays to avoid him turning the ball over.
That's it to a T. But if you want to win a game, you don't get any points for covering or playing the game and get it within 2 touchdowns.
Right.
You play to win.
Yeah.
So that's my thought on it.
Well, they'll play to win this week, but can Van Dyke get that done in a game against Louisville, who Miami has the players to beat?
They have the players to beat. I don't think they have the quarterback to beat them. That's my problem. The Cardinals, what's interesting is they are in the top 20 in a lot of statistical categories, offensively and defensively. So maybe are they a tad overrated at 9th? Yeah, maybe they should be 12th, 14th, 15th. But it's going to be played at 12 noon. Miami really has nothing to play for. They are 3-12 as a home favorite. There'll be about 30,000 people there. And unless Miami hits on some big plays early, I think they're in trouble here. So not a game I'm giving my clients, but I like Louisville 27-20.
I took Louisville as well, but it's an interesting game. I feel like if Miami's defense cares to play, that could be close well into the fourth quarter.
And I will say this about Emory, the quarterback from Miami. I don't think he's the guy. I think he's pretty good. But if I was Miami, and I do think Tyler Van Dyke's going to transfer out. He might end up someplace like SMU and join his former coach, Rhett Lashley, his offensive coordinator, who's done a real good job. I think that's where he ends up at this time if I had to make an estimated guess. But I think Miami should look to the transfer portal. They got to flip someone. The reason you guys are great, borderline, maybe, winning it all, maybe, is you have a quarterback.
Yeah, he's really good. And it's helped, and he's been really good for the last 2 years. And I think, yeah, there's no doubt. You look around the country, there aren't too many teams that are going to get by with substandard quarterback play. You got to find somebody. And then I think Mike's done a real good job of filling those holes in other areas too. But yeah, you always start with a quarterback. All right, so of the games this week, and another high-profile game, Georgia laying 10 to 10.5 against Tennessee. I've been bold on Georgia all along. I have talked about the last 4 to 5 weeks. I'm just taking Georgia and giving. I don't care. I'm 4-1 against the spread doing that with Georgia. I continue to think they're starting to play their best ball right now, which is bad news for the rest of the country. Do you lay it here, or does the rivalry come into play and we get a closer game? Is Georgia looking ahead? I don't know. What say you here?
I think you keep playing them. And when they played last year, do you remember that game?
I do.
Okay. Played in pouring rain.
Yep.
Georgia dominated the game. They won by 13. Remember, they played it safe. Once they got the lead, they were very conservative and dominated Tennessee. That line, I mean, if they play that game in good weather and Georgia goes for the juggler, they win that game by 30, 35 points. They dominated the line of scrimmage. They won the 2 games a year before by 24 and 23. They pounded Ole Miss and ran on Ole Miss for 300 rushing yards. Tennessee's not any better. Missouri ran for 255 on them last week. Joe Milton looks great. He can throw the ball 80, 85 yards. You just never know where it's going to end up. So, Carson Beck, he was at the first part of this year, I'm like, this guy is not very good.
He is now.
He is. 5 of the last 7 games go for 300 yards. He's gone from a liability to a big-time player here. He is the guy. I like Georgia, 37-20.
It hurts my heart to say it. I brought this up earlier in the week. I was so disappointed, despondent by the fact that Carson's looking more and more like he's going to be a first-round draft pick in a couple of years, and that is not good news for all of us who want to see Georgia finally start to lose. Dolphins minus 12.5 against the Raiders. The Raiders' newfound success, obviously making radical changes. But again, they haven't played anybody who's any good. The Dolphins are good. They need to bounce back here. Laying the 12.5, is that number too big, or do you like it?
You know what? I think off the bye, I think Miami's going to be ready. They will have a couple tricks up their sleeve. Vegas has beaten no one. They beat Danny DeVito's son, Tommy DeVito. I mean, come on. Zach Wilson, are you kidding me? Both games at home. Yeah, with a rookie quarterback, a rookie head coach, they're going to get some humble pie. I like Miami big here, 38-13.
And finally, we have not finally. What am I talking about? We got 2 more here. Well, my Bucks. We don't need to go over my Bucks here. Are they going to lose by 40 or 30 to San Francisco? The number is 12 or 11.5.
25.
Okay.
They lose, same score, 38-13.
Yeah.
If you can't run on San Francisco, Baker Mayfield. Tampa is one of those teams that can beat the bad teams, can't beat anyone that's better than them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And San Francisco with Williams back at left tackle and Deebo Samuel back have not lost a game. Not going to happen here. Same score, 38-13.
Yeah, they'll kill the Bucks. Jacksonville minus 6.5 against Tennessee, licking their wounds, but an opportunity to get better. Tennessee stinks.
They're not very good, but I think sometimes when you lose like that, you're like, oh, we just can't compete with the top teams. They were dominated.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, only his second career game, no touchdown passes, 3 or more turnovers. Jacksonville has had trouble with Tennessee and Jacksonville. Makes no sense, but 1-5 against the spread last 6. I don't think Derrick Henry's going to get held to 24 yards again on 11 carries here. I don't think Jacksonville's good enough to be laying about a touchdown here. I'm going to call for the upset here. Tennessee pulls off the shocker. Wrong team favorite, 27-24.
Wow. Free play of the day is a fun game to watch. I like Clemson. I don't know if you do, but that number, 7, 6.5 against North Carolina. How can folks get it?
First 5 callers get it for free. Call 800-400-9741. Again, the number 800-400-9741 will give you Clemson and North Carolina. A lot of people can't figure this game out. I think I have the right side. 800-400-9741. And how about this? Normally, one-day all-access pass of all the sports tonight and UFC tomorrow. Normally, from $77 to $97. I have 8 selections total. All the sports. You can get it right now. $17. That's it. $17 for 8 plays. 2 weeks ago, we had it. We rolled it out. 7-1 record. You want to hopefully build the bankroll heading into the weekend. Maybe come on for the rest of the season with me. Just one place, $17, ParamountSports.com.
Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you before the holiday. We'll figure something out, brother. Be well.
You too.
All right, take care. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. Those are his picks. Go back and check those. He took Georgia to beat down Tennessee. He's got Louisville beating Miami. He's got the Dolphins beating the bejesus out of the Raiders. He's got San Francisco doing the same to the Bucs. He's got Tennessee upsetting Jacksonville, and then the free play, if you want it, ParamountSports.com, is Clemson and North Carolina. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3, Real Talk Radio, and Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Traffic backed up on I-10 in Gadsden County Tuesday evening after a semi-truck crashed into the roadway's tree line. The wreck took place just before 6 p.m. in Chattahoochee. A tire blew out on a semi-truck traveling westbound, causing the 18-wheeler to veer off the road and collide into the woods. The hauler's load toppled onto the shoulder in the wreck. The Chattahoochee Fire Department responded to the scene near mile marker 186, having to cut through toppled trees that were on the truck and the roadway to free the 36-year-old Kentucky man. Emergency responders transported the driver to Tallahassee Memorial. Officials expect him to survive. A new speed limit went into effect on a stretch of Thomasville Road near Childs High School. FDOT looked at the area and agreed it should be designated a school zone. During pickup and drop-off times, the speed limit drops from 45 to 35 miles per hour. The school zone wasn't expected to go into effect until January, but it ended up being completed ahead of schedule. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Highs around 77 this afternoon under partly cloudy skies, northerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly cloudy skies expected tonight, lows around 62. Highs around 77 tomorrow. Mainly sunny skies and calm. Bright sunshine expected Sunday with daytime highs approaching 76. 78 Monday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 67.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future. So everybody knows, Eddie, that you are a spectacular cook. Of course they know that. If they go into Bumpa's, the food is always good. I mean, everything on the menu. Everything at Gordo's is delicious. I always, of course, get the bungalow chungla, as I call it.
The bungalow chung, Jeff?
Is that what is the pork?
The bungalow chung, Jeff.
Okay, the bungalow chocolate. It's delicious. All these things, all the items, everything you do, a master cook. But, sir, I would ask you, what is a skill that you possess that you're particularly proud of that nobody would know and that you could share with us here?
Growing hair, Jeff. Growing hair.
You're an asshole. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Directly why it is he won't run, or is that one of those off-limit questions? You could phrase it a certain way and ask that question. You wouldn't come out and say, why won't you run? That's sort of combative and subjective, and but you could phrase it a certain way.
Again, I know what everybody's talking about and what we've seen, and it's real. Like, he rolls out and there's a choice to make, and
design runs are the same amount of design runs he had a year ago,
and the scrambles are on the same pace as well,
except for what's happening in those plays, on those plays, and moreover, what your eyes tell you about his intent on those plays. And I think that's really what we're talking about here, because that doesn't show up statistically. Like, you know the difference between the runs we saw in the game against the University of Florida last year and the runs we've seen when he's chosen to take off in these moments this year. Very different.
Yeah,
very different.
And the other thing is, if you're looking at it, there was another number because people were asking some questions on the boards on Warchant, so I was digging deep on some other numbers about times we see a 7-man box or 8 to stop the run. And the 7-man box opportunities, that's stacked these days, by the way. That used to be neutral, but now that's because you have 6 on every play because it's a 4-2-5 pretty much is the base. Anyway, we're seeing it less often this year because of the receivers. Oh, that makes sense. There's more of them over the top.
I'd be a little concerned about them.
Which also, I think, extends to the quarterback scramble game. You're rolling out more. They're going to have to defend the deep part of the field because they're so scared of Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson that you should have more opportunities before you because we're pass first this year, not run first.
Yeah, and again, I feel like we should have leaned a little bit more into pass first earlier in the season and really throughout the year. I think somewhere along the way you would have to open up to the idea, even if you don't want to, that you're going to have a hard time running consistently traditionally, and so therefore you've got to get people out of that box. And the way you're going to do that is to throw the damn thing. And you get, throw it and spread them out, get them out of there. When we do that, we actually do have quite a bit of success running the ball in those moments when we start games coming out firing. Have you noticed that? I mean, this would be a very laborious run for you, Tom, but if you were to go back and look at the games in which we threw on over 75% of our first 15 plays, what did that do for success in the run game in the preceding plays?
Oh, dear God.
Yeah. See what I mean, though? But that's how you watch it. That's why we watch the games.
How about no?
Yeah, you're not going to do that. And I wouldn't want you to do that. But I would like you to do it, but I don't expect you to do it.
They did it for Wake. We know that because they threw. Keon was the first
4 straight
targets.
passes to Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
But it's a great idea. It's something that even if it's the quick game, if it's the bubble, hell, we've thrown screens before we've even run a play before we've had a running play. I mean, it makes me laugh. We're like, oh, here's a screen to start the day. We haven't set up the run at all. But we know you're not respecting it, so get you some of this screen, let you know where we're coming from this afternoon. It's funny, but I do think that when you watch them do that, you see it loosen the box a little bit, and then we have some fun with it. Dave, thanks for liking my polo or loving my polo. Is that available at Garnet and Gold? Yes. It is available at Garnet and Gold. I got it at Garnet and Gold.
And the next
Some time
Warchant,
ago.
look at this. He's promoing it for us. It's almost like we told him to do it, which we didn't. Tuesday of next week, the 21st of November, is the next Warchant day, and the special is for the winter. 20% off, 20% off, all blankets.
Yeah, blankets.
FSU
what about sweatshirts?
blankets.
Are we doing anything with sweatshirts?
That might be next month.
Okay.
This month is the blankets.
Yeah. I like it. I'm a winter weather clothing kind of guy, unfortunately, living in the South. Where it's not cold enough to wear the vast majority of things that my eye tells me you should purchase.
But you're getting older, your blood's getting thinner, so you can wear it more.
I guess.
Well, you said this year, you reported that
it's the first time.
This is the first time.
In my 50s, for the first time ever, I've had days where I've been like, oh, it's a little chilly. And then I'll look and it's like 48. And I'm like, oh, man, we are getting soft. 48 is not cold in the slightest. What is wrong with you? But I'm not like South Florida soft. Where you talk to somebody in South Florida and they've been there long enough, they're like, it's freezing. I'm like, it's 77. I'm like, oh, I don't like it below 80. Like, what the hell? You want to live on the surface of the sun? What are we doing? But no, like I'm not to that place yet. But I'm getting a little softer, sadly.
No, maybe you can find some comfort in a
break
blanket.
out some sweatshirts, break out some blankets
for 20% off on Tuesday.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if you guys are coming to the game this weekend, go by the vault there on Pensacola, the Garnet and Gold in the vault there. Near
the stadium.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Man, they got to be thrilled in general. Like businesses around here,
all the businesses around here. Look at all these sellouts. Look at what winning does.
Well, and then next year's home slate too, being a really good one.
I called it before the year when we were talking about what happens to this city when the football programs, plural, are good, and you've got a taste of it this year, big time. It's been awesome to watch. Florida A&M is really good and continues to win football games in convincing fashion. that it's exciting when you got two programs that are succeeding at a very high level, have championship aspirations. That buzz that you get going down Tennessee Street or even down Thomasville Road heading into the city, you're like, okay, people are pumped. This is good stuff. So I get excited about that. I'm hoping. Oh, do we have an announcement here?
No.
Okay. Your no is a funny no.
Yeah.
No, buddy, it's not a bad announcement. I was wondering, I saw your eyes deviate. All right. I said there's stuff in the air. May happen today, may happen next week. Looks like it's leaning towards next week.
And then the next week. And
well,
then the next week.
Hold on a second. Hold on, buddy. You're starting to get into conspiracy. You're starting to
No, I'm not impugning integrity. This isn't you talking to Jimbo Fisher about Christian Ponder's health whatsoever.
Okay.
It's just that, when you play the game, generally speaking, of course, I'm speaking broadly about recruiting.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a string along thing that the kids do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do. They do. Hey, I need to make an announcement that I have failed to make all week long, and I wanted to for people who are interested, and I've just conveniently forgot. That's on me. So here it is. Lou Holtz, still alive, first of all.
Whew,
let me make that announcement. He's still alive.
Just say an old person's name and then
you thought I was about to tell you that he was dead.
Yeah. Forgot to tell you, everybody. I got the inside scoop.
Yeah, he's dead. No, he's not dead. Not only is he not dead, he'll be here attempting to speak at the Quarterback Club on Tuesday. And that is somebody, if you'd like to go check it out, you can. Last day to get tickets to see Lou Holtz next Tuesday at the Quarterback Club. You can get tickets today. It's your last day. That's it. That's all. And I just say, if you really have always wanted to see Lou Holtz, I'd get those tickets.
Okay.
I'd get those tickets. I remember way back in the day when the time was getting nigh for Jerry Garcia, I missed an opportunity, and I knew it when I didn't buy the tickets. I was like, he'll be dead. The Grateful Dead will not be touring with him because he'll be dead. And I was right, but I didn't get the tickets. I would. So if you want to see Lou, and you've always wanted to see Lou, I'm urging you.
You going to go see John Mayer play with the Dead?
No, I'm not.
No.
But I would urge you to go get Lou Holtz tickets for the Quarterback Club on Tuesday. It is the event is on Tuesday. I used to have to introduce those speakers for years. I introduced those speakers, and that would have been an interesting one.
Okay, so I'm going to keep this question on the straight and narrow. Is there a Q&A section with those speakers? Like, do they allow the microphones to go to the tables and the people at the Quarterback Club can...
Now, keep in mind, I have not been at the big table introducing folks for a couple of years, so there could have been changes that have been made.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the speaker would speak, and if they had some time left over, and it was kind of up to the speaker if they wanted to, they could take questions. And some of them did, and it was great. Some of them were really good about it, and others, they just had a kind of a prepared deal, and that was that. But they would always hang around afterwards and answer your personal questions where you could come up and talk to them.
I would feel like Lou would be giving in that situation. He likes to talk, and this year he made some waves. Somebody ask him about Ryan Day. Please, somebody ask him about Ohio State's toughness. The Quarterback Club could go viral. You want exposure for the club? Plant somebody to ask him about Ryan Day and roll the tape and see what he says.
It was a weird, in my mind, thing for him to do. Like, where did that come from? Why did he do that? Like, I'd like to know the backstory there. That sounds like there's a personal gripe with Ryan Day. Like, how would you, out of left field, you haven't been, in a position to give opinions about football while you're, coaching it or analyzing it.
He's as soft as tissue paper.
Yeah, it just made no sense. It was just like, I'm gonna rip. Listen, you go back and think about that game. We think about this season. We do this every year. Ohio State narrowly winning that game against Notre Dame on the last play down there as the seconds ticked off and they only had 10 men on the field is really, that is the only reason that we're having certain aspects of this playoff conversation, because frankly now that's not a great win. It didn't look, it's not impressive at all since they went on to get basically blown out by Clemson and others. And you're kind of like, man, How good is Ohio State? I'm not real sure about them. I'm more sure, and that's why I've already hinted at the fact that I think Michigan's going to beat Ohio State, I think probably soundly. And I do think that of the four, people are hyper-focused on us, fine, about teams they think are going to lose. I would be more looking at Ohio State. I would love to play Ohio State.
No, yeah.
I would like personally for us to match up with Ohio State.
I think there's a decent chance that game is 17-all in the third quarter.
Our game against them?
No.
Michigan, Ohio State?
Michigan's Ohio State.
I don't think Michigan's going to give up 17 points to Ohio State. I don't think that Ohio State quarterback's doing that.
Yeah, but I mean, the best quarterback they've seen so far is who?
Well, they have.
I mean, what are we doing?
They haven't seen a lot of great. It was not great quarterback play in the Big Ten, just in general.
So the answer is Aller. I mean,
I don't know.
Are we sure about their defense?
Well, I do think you can do some things beyond the games we've seen this year. Like you can look at who projects first, second round of the NFL along their defensive line, and it's elite. They got a bunch of guys that are all projected to get drafted very highly.
Jimbo's had a lot of those.
Well, yes, Jimbo's losing a lot of games. They're not. They're not losing games. Jimbo is. Hence, he's no longer employed. Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Challenger Learning Center presents Impact Week 2023, November 13th through the 17th. Experience a week long of free events and join in on Domi's Pitch Event, a chance for area entrepreneurs to pitch their business for a chance to win $22,000 in cash and in-kind prizes. Experience our community's dynamic energy firsthand. To learn more about the event, see a list of topics and talks, and to register for free, go to impactweek.info.
The leaves are starting to fall. The temperatures will start to fall, and the prices are falling right now at Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas. Incredible dealer discounts up to $5,000 are available on all hot spring spas, the industry leader in hot tubs and spas. If you've never experienced the sensation and relaxation of having your own hot tub in your backyard on a cool evening, you're truly missing out. The cold months are coming, and now's the time to set yourself up for the best winter season you've ever had. Plus, you'll gain the added health benefits of reduced stress, relief of sore muscles, and better sleep. You'll feel so relaxed after a nice soak in your new hot spring spa. You'll experience some of the best sleep of your life. Head over to Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas on Greer Road and check out their huge showroom packed with the best selection of hot tubs and spas available. And ask about getting up to $5,000 in discount, low interest financing, and a free accessory to make your hot tub dreams come true. If you're ready to relax, Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas is ready to show you how.
I'm Greg Tisch, and I want to share how it all began at Tallahassee Community College. During a quiet moment on a fishing trip in 1963, FSU President Gordon Blackwell looked to Lewis Hill, who was a member of the Leon County Board of Public Instruction, and said, "Lou, why don't you get a junior college?" When Lou told Gordon he felt the college would compete with FSU, Gordon responded, "Nah, you ought to have one." We don't know if they caught any fish that day, but they did catch a big idea.
TCC thanks our community for 58 years of support. We look forward to moving into the future together.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Fasig. And I'm Dana Brooks of Fasig Brooks Law Offices. When you're in an accident, traffic cameras can be the best source of evidence to prove who's at fault. That's why Fasig Brooks has partnered with RoadProof to have access to all their traffic camera footage. With RoadProof, we can search our network of traffic cameras to find the evidence that could help you win your case. Call us today to see if we can help find the proof to help you come back stronger. Call us now at 850-777-7777.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee. The latest betting odds and line movements from Vegas. This is your action update. Now, here are your latest lines from our guys in the desert.
Jaguars and Titans in an AFC South matchup at Everbank Stadium on Sunday. Jacksonville, the 7-point favorite with a total of 40. Florida Gators tomorrow, plus 12 at Missouri. 57.5 the total at Memorial Field. Texas Tech laying 3 against UCF at the Jones AT&T Stadium in Lubbock with a total that's 59.5. Florida Gators on the hardwood at the O'Connell Center tonight, laying 6.5 against Florida State, 158 the total. North Florida laying 9 against Northwestern State at home, 153 at the UNF Arena. Jacksonville Dolphins plus 15.5 at Pitt, 139.5 the total at the Peterson Event Center. Get your free VSiN subscription right now at VSIN.com. For more sports betting news and information, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, Real Talk 93.3.
O'Reilly. When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a click away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts, tools, accessories, and supplies quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store, or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This Thanksgiving at Total Wine and More, find Pinot Noirs and Cabernets that you adore. Our helpful guides are so friendly and nice. So many bottles to try at the lowest price. So gather with friends as you sit down to eat. Grateful for all who made Thanksgiving complete.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
At Epps Decorating Center, we're your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. We're your store for quality with brilliant and durable paints in a variety of sheens and thousands of colors. We're your store for service with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. We're your local experts, and we're here to help with all your painting projects. Benjamin Moore, available at Epps Decorating Center with 2 locations in Tallahassee. Find a store near you and visit EppsDecorating.com. That's EppsDecorating.com.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool. You can pull them to the test.
Your heating and air conditioning system doesn't check with you before it takes a break. That's why we're always ready to help. Any day, anytime, anywhere. And with our annual service agreement, there are no overtime charges. Ever. At Verno Heating and Air, we will always be there for you.
Barry knows heating and air conditioning.
License CAC 1816186.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Gonna have a good time. Welcome in to all of you who are making their way to town for the game Saturday, for the game tomorrow evening against North Alabama. We, as I said in hour one, we'll say again here, we'll be at Hotel Indigo for the pregame show that begins at 3:30. Looking forward to it. Should be a good time. By the way, tonight down in Gainesville, Florida State 2-0 at Florida 2-1. 7 o'clock at the O'Connell Center in Gainesville. And I remember, Tom, when they built the O'Connell Center.
You remember O'Connell?
No, but I remember when they built the O'Connell Center.
You guys pals at Santa Fe?
No. None of that. None of the hanging out and about and all that good stuff. FSU in Florida, a rivalry on the hardwood that I don't know that our fan base cares as much about, right? And neither does theirs. Florida does lead the all-time series 45-29. FSU managed to win 7 straight games, as you well know, from 2015 through 2021 before getting boat raced 71-55 in Gainesville in November of 2021. Then last November at the TLC Double C, we blew a 17-point halftime lead. I was livid. 43-26, got outscored 50-24 in the second half, Tom. That'll hurt your feelings. You may recall that. We shot a robust 30% in that game, 10 of 30, including 0 of 10 from beyond the arc, turned it over 11 times over the final 20 minutes, and that collapse was 76-67, and that was a toughie because Florida State was already in the midst of a terrible non-conference stretch to start the season. Lest we forget, the Noles 2-9 in non-conference games last year to start the year, and that ended up really kind of sealing their fate. Now, again, 2-0 so far, both blowout wins. Florida did not go on to have a great season after coming back and beating us. In fact, they went on to have a sub-500 season, 16-17. They went 9-9 in the SEC and got beat up by UCF 67-49 in the first round of the NIT. Ding, ding.
Ooh.
Florida State returning 8 players from last year that we all know of, and Florida went through a purge. 3 players exhausted their eligibility, 1 left for the NBA. 6 others transferred the hell out. We don't want to be here. Screw Hogtown. Returning only 2 players, and that was a 12-man rotation for Todd Golson. He's the second-year coach. You didn't even know he was the coach.
No.
I don't blame you.
That's correct.
A lot of people didn't.
I know who Everett Golson is.
Florida's 2 wins have come against Loyola, Maryland, and Florida A&M. So we'll see. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen us play this year. We're 2-0. I haven't seen us play. I've been locked in on Florida State football and have not gone over to see them play. I can't go. I could, but I'm not going down to Gainesville tonight to see them play. Maybe I'll watch, though. Let's get to kind of tied in. Well, we're going to be busy over at the CP, hanging out and doing all that stuff.
Little meet and greet action.
Yeah, a little meet and greet tonight. So maybe just after that, we'll tune in. By the way, that's an FSU UF doubleheader. The women play Florida, and that game starts at 4 o'clock. So it's coming up.
Good start to the season there.
Yeah, we're 2-0 and they're 3-0, so it could be a battle. Let's go for the sweep, Tom Lang, and get involved with basketball again.
Already took down Tennessee, did the women.
I know, and we weren't even at full strength. Saw an article today of who does Texas A&M hire, and I've been saying from the beginning that I thought that the right hire would be Mike Elko, but I don't know. We'll see if they do it. You want to put a wager out there on any of these other guys that they might hire? Notice, by the way, any serious article about the job opening at Texas A&M does not involve Florida State's Mike Norvell. Of the serious writers whose opinions and reporting skills I respect, Adam Rittenberg and the like, there's no mention of Mike Norvell.
I should use this moment since we're expanding what sports we're talking about, and Texas A&M did come up, that tonight at the complex at 5:30 p.m. Soccer plays Texas A&M.
You're damn right. Got to get another win against
the
them.
march to go back to, is it Cary again this year? Probably, to the College Cup.
Beat him the first go-around. I was watching that game. I watched that game up there at Texas A&M, buddy. Do you recall that game? was kind of stressful. I think it was 1-1 for a long time. Didn't we win 2-1? Do I have that right?
I trust you on that.
I think maybe it was way back at the beginning, but I remember being a little nervous.
Yeah, 2-1 season opener August 17th.
Get off me.
There you go.
I was watching. I was in.
Yes, please do.
Steel trap, buddy.
You were watching the SEC network.
I tuned in. Screw them. I wanted to win that game. I was like, let's go, ladies. Let's get it going. And by the way, this is, we had the question last week, I think it was, that a desperate gambler asked, would you put money on the Noles to win the whole thing? And I said, well, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't bet women's soccer, but why not? We're good. We're always good. Always really good.
The thing I'd say as a gambler, you never want to bet the favorite. There's just no value in it.
Not typically.
So this would be a heartstrings play. So go for it. If you feel it creates good karma for you and your home, and if Florida State wins, it's double the good things, great. But it's hard to find value in betting on the favorite in terms of just strict betting rules.
Do you ever do this? And it is a Libations Friday, and it is loosey-goosey, and we do talk about wagers. I've got probably one player prop I'll give you before the end of the day. I failed last week's player prop. Failed. Mac Jones. I may have cursed him to see the end of his career. He's done in New England. That guy was an overwhelming favorite at about the 9-game mark of his rookie season to win Rookie of the Year. And now it looks like most people recognize he can't play. He can't play. What a mess. What a mess the young quarterbacks are, not named C.J. Stroud. So you saw my beloved Joe Burrow get hurt again last night.
And there's speculation about the injury report not being fully forthcoming.
I'm about done with this nonsense. This has got to stop. Now, that's for the NFL. That is a scandal. They're going back and checking video both from practices and from previous games where they can cite a wrist brace in some cases. And if you know that guy's hurt and you do not report it, first of all, you get fined a huge amount of money. They're required to report these things. They're in bed with all of the gambling that goes on in the NFL. There's no chance that you can pretend that's not real. That's crazy.
Also, quick side note about injuries and reporting and scandals. I don't think it rises to the level of scandal, but in the early portion of the fourth quarter last week, Emory Williams was hit near their goal line, and his helmet smashed the ground.
His head back, yeah.
And his helmet hit the ground, which is, as we know from concussion specialists over the years, that's what you look for.
It's the one where you fall back, not side to side. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
The ground always wins, as we know. And he came up, and he was wincing, and he kind of had his hands do a weird thing, and they left him in.
I was yelling, keep him in the game.
Well, there you go.
That's a ruthless rivalry, Tom. Keep him in the game.
I think they might have let him play with a concussion too. I'm not sure about that, but typically some guys, their head hits the ground and it's not a big deal.
They're fine. They're fine.
But
like sometimes they're fine.
He didn't look right when he got up. I thought there was going to be a change then and
the
there.
little buzz down, what they're supposed to do, where they're monitoring players. Like, hey, my man may be a little woozy here. Get him off for a play. Let's take a check.
And they showed it on the slow motion. So if you've got the independent doctor who is monitoring the situation, I would think the replay would be enough where they'd say, "Oh, you got to check him out."
Nothing about the way that replay has been used this year has been efficient, right? I mean, God. I agree with you, by the way. Just objectively speaking, watching that, when I went back and watched the game, I saw the play you're talking about. I didn't see it in real time. I saw the play, but I couldn't tell from where I was that he
didn't look right coming up.
Yeah, when you watch it on television, you're like, ooh.
Then he misses a wide open throw, which, I mean, look, that might have been
missed
just
a lot
him.
of wide open throws.
But it was... You're thinking, okay, why? Now, why is he doing that? Because I'll never forget being in the Georgia Dome in 2010 and the Chick-fil-A Bowl. And Ponder was concussed, and he's got Lonnie Pryor with nobody within 30 yards
We were both like, oh, my goodness, get him out. I mean, he looked like
he spiked the ball on 4th and goal. And then the scarier part was he took his helmet off, walked off the field, and he looked confused.
Yeah, he was he didn't know what happened.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
God, that was a good play call.
It was a touchdown. I mean, he just spikes it.
We had a lot of touchdowns inside the 5 not go our way in that era of Florida State football.
Man, really silly things. By the way, so Hog Watcher brings it up, and you should have seen my timeline because people know that I am anti-targeting and largely believe it's made up. There are occasions where targeting occurs in a football game. I think we may have had one against us in the Miami-Florida State game.
Good Christmas.
But there's no doubt about the one that occurred last night in the Boston College Pitt game. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I did.
Holy moly!
It looks fake.
Like you were. It was almost like it's a joke. My man, it's nuts. That's the first one I've seen in a long time where I'm like, ooh, yeah, you're done. That is it. I can't help you on that one, brother.
There was the all-timer for me this is probably 10, 11 years ago now, but it was Patrick Chung against Todd Heap.
Oh, my God.
This
That's
is
a long time ago,
forever ago.
indeed. Yes.
And it's near the goal line.
Yeah, I
and
remember the play
it
you're
is
talking about.
Intent to injure through a headshot.
Yeah.
Since then, I don't know that I've seen an example that rises to this level of last night's ridiculousness.
No, that was nuts. I was blown away by that. But back to my man, Joe Burrow. The devastation. Do you know, you want to see sad Jeff, how much I waited to watch that game. And I talked about how excited I was for that game because Cincinnati needed it. Both teams needed that game. And I thought, here we go. This is going to be fun. And it was. It's 10-7. We got us a ball game. It's looking like it's going to play out exactly as I thought. Come down to the wire. Going to be a blast. And then my man, we got the wrist injury. They take him out. Once they announced on the broadcast in the second quarter he's not coming back, Tom, I turned it off and went to bed. I was sad. I finished my cup of water that I was sitting there drinking, and I went, well, son of a. Turned it off. My wife, where are you going? Bed. Joe Burrow's hurt. This game is over. He's always hurt. I'm done with it.
I have photographic evidence of what you were looking like last night for the chat.
Pull it up for the chat.
Give me just one moment.
Devastating. Thought I was going to be up watching finally a good Thursday night football game. No.
There he is. He's just sitting there. He's just sitting there.
Oh, just sitting there devastated.
For those of you that are driving around town, it is the photo of
The
Urban
famed
Meyer.
photo of Urban Meyer just eating pizza.
Just eating a pizza in a golf cart.
And it's Papa John's pizza, by the way, so what makes it all the better.
Which I always thought Papa John looked like Urban Meyer's brother, who you'd get together and Papa John would just say, hey, that's my brother Urban. He's kind of a D-bag, so sorry about that.
And then Urban would say, and you aren't?
Right. That was the plot twist.
Yeah,
that was the joke before I knew that he had over
yeah.
40 pizzas in the last 30 days.
One of the great clips we ever heard. That day we got to use that. My man had gained 100 pounds since we had last seen him. Oily. He was very oily.
The end is coming.
Yeah. It's like, what is going on here?
I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days.
Oh, my man. We all love pizza as much as the next guy, but you can't, sir. Get a handle on it. Let's go.
Did he called it the pizza category?
Yeah. Yeah.
With 30 years experience in the pizza category.
Yeah. So the targeting last night in the Pitt game, Pitt BC game was insane. And I was forced to say to all those who texted, yeah, okay, I'm going to give you that one. That is a target. That is targeting. I, too, would throw that flag because there would be video footage of me, referee Jeff Cameron, who would routinely watch a targeting happen in the eyes of the rule book, right? And you would see me do this. Nope, not calling it.
It's
nonsense rule.
This also has a visual aid to it now.
Look at my man. He's like, I'm going to get you. And he whiffed.
I know. He tries and he whiffs.
He's trying so hard.
I actually think he's trying to head the football.
I don't know.
I think he's trying to head the football back.
So I will tell you, there is never a coach on earth that has taught this technique to do anything. And it's never happened. Nobody's.
7 in Blue said something about his mom.
This reminds me of Kevin Knowles last week towards the out of bounds marker, just diving towards the sidelines with no apparent plan or rhyme nor reason. Just look at my man. That is wackadoo. Bad radio. Sorry.
I'm going to get you. Well, that's a great
I'm gonna
caption.
get you. I'm going to get you.
It looks like that's the thought bubble I put over your head about 2 years ago for the pregame shows when we had the fingers platter.
Oh, delicious.
During the breaks, I could see you in there. You're looking at the different direction from the camera, and I could he's looking at him.
You were cruel. You guys would leave the damn platters up on the table here while I was doing a show.
And during the breaks, I just see this.
We're staring at the platters going, damn it. How am I supposed to avoid eating Zaxby's when they're sitting right here in front of me, hot, steaming with the sauces and everything you needed?
The window would fog up between you and me.
It was nuts.
With the flavors.
You can get the platters for the weekend game, obviously, tomorrow morning. Go by and get them. Tomorrow afternoon, go by and get them on your way to the tailgate. I always suggest the platters. They're a huge hit.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to get upset with you. You don't have to worry about, is it the right chicken sandwich? Did he want the other one? Did he want the Philly? What did he want? No. I got the platters. Get after it.
They're also cleaner, man. Like there are the other places that give you the small little chicken nuggets, and your fingers are going to get all over everybody else's food. They're too small. That is a germ trap.
Agreed.
But if you get the finger, I mean, it's not even like you have to be the claw game in the arcade. You can very clearly pick up the one finger and drop it on the plate. It's very nice. In the flu season,
people
it's a good
still
idea.
put money in those machines to try to use the claw to get a stuffed animal.
Dude, the one at the Perkins growing up on Gulf to Bay and 19.
Yeah, I've never been to that Perkins, but I know the one of which you speak.
Oh, yeah. It had a smoking section that was humongous,
yes.
It would in Clearwater, Florida.
As it would in Clearwater, Florida, at the Perkins.
With the senior citizens. It was across from the Lenny's. Yeah.
Let's light it up, Mary.
That claw was live. I think they just decided we're going to lose money on the claw. It's fine. It's fine.
But all you ever win is a stupid stuffed animal. It's a waste of time.
I was 5.
I think early on I hated stuffed animals. I was like, this is stupid. You can't play with them. They don't do anything. They just sit there. Nah. I wanted like an action figure or an electronic device or something that you could do something with.
I used to perform WWF moves on my sister's giant teddy bear in the late 90s.
That makes sense. Yeah, you could do that. You could suplex one, and they were big enough that you felt like you were doing something. Yeah. Okay, I take it back. In that sense, they had value. And your sister would get mad. You're ruining it.
Yeah, well, she was in her 20s, so it was fine. Yeah.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3. Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
The leaves are starting to fall. The temperatures will start to fall. And the prices are falling right now at Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas. Incredible dealer discounts up to $5,000 are available on all hot spring spas. The industry leader in hot tubs and spas. If you've never experienced the sensation and relaxation of having your own hot tub in your backyard on a cool evening, you're truly missing out. The cold months are coming, and now's the time to set yourself up for the best winter season you've ever had. Plus, you'll gain the added health benefits of reduced stress, relief of sore muscles, and better sleep. You'll feel so relaxed after a nice soak in your new hot spring spa. You'll experience some of the best sleep of your life. Head over to Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas on Greer Road and check out their huge showroom packed with the best selection of hot tubs and spas available. And ask about getting up to $5,000 in discount, low interest financing, and a free accessory to make your hot tub dreams come true. If you're ready to relax, Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas is ready to show you how.
Step into the heart of Tallahassee at the Challenger Learning Center for Impact Week 2023, November 13th through the 17th, and experience our community's dynamic energy firsthand. With a lineup of workshops, panels, and professional speakers, you'll have opportunities to network, engage, and collaborate with industry experts, business owners, entrepreneurs, and there will even be free professional headshots and more. To learn more about the event, see a list of topics and talks, and to register for free, go to impactweek.info.
Ethics Rocks. Join us on December 6th for an unforgettable evening of music and fun in support of the Florida Ethics Institute at the first annual Ethics Rocks benefit concert at Goodwood Museum and Gardens.
The Ethics Rocks benefit concert is all about combining our love for music with our commitment to advancing ethics through education. So grab your friends, put on your dancing shoes, and come on down to enjoy some incredible live performances from the Nitro Groundshakers and our headliner, the Rockets.
All funds raised will be used to support FEI's educational mission. VIP and general admission tickets are on sale now at floridaethics.org/ethics-rocks. That's floridaethics.org/ethics-rocks.
Don't miss all the fun. It's the annual Ethics Rocks benefit concert December 6th at the Goodwood Museum and Gardens, featuring some of Tallahassee's favorite local bands, the Nitro Groundshakers and the Rockets.
Get your tickets today at floridaethics.org/ethics-rocks.
Let's take a minute to imagine all the things you can accomplish with help from Southeast Portable Buildings. Are you a hoarder? Hoard some more. Get a storage shed. Mother-in-law moving in with you? Put her in a shed out back. I'm kidding. Still working on that engine that you're going to finish from last summer? Move it out to a new workspace with Southeast Portable Buildings. From she sheds and man caves to repair shops and trophy rooms, the possibilities are only limited to your imagination. Visit Southeast Portable Buildings today.
Man, I just got a text from my wife. She wants me to cook dinner and then snuggle on the couch next to a roaring fire.
So what's the problem, Dave? You already got the new grill and you're a great cook.
I got one major problem. We don't have a fireplace.
Man, that's an easy fix. Just call Hearth and Patio. They got a lot of fireplaces that can help you for your romantic evenings. Wood, gas, electric, and a ton of different sizes, man. Call Hearth and Patio today, 850-727-4282, or visit them online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com. Hearth and Patio. Ignite that spark in your life.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Welcome back to the Jeff Cameron Show, sponsored by Legendary Home Loans, a mortgage experience designed around speed, simplicity, and customer service. Before you buy your next home, contact our friend Shannon Young with Legendary Home Loans. Visit FSUHomeLoans.com. FSUHomeLoans.com.
With Artisan Financial Strategies and my man, Adam Tolliver, a fellow Knoll, a diehard Knoll, a guy that if you call for the Artisan Financial Strategies, you're going to probably talk some Florida State with. And they'll also help you during a very critical time, obviously, in your life, right? Some of you, midfield, some of you on the goal line, in terms of the analogy, your life, your career, your savings, lack thereof, whatever it might be, you're ready to punch it in. You got to know how much money you can spend without running out and protecting yourself and your family. We all want to do that against the rising healthcare costs or carefully planning your own legacy, whatever that might be. The Artisan team brings a combined 30-plus years of planning experience, world-class resources to help as well. You'll be able to navigate your way to the finish line. So for more information, you're going to want to head over to knollretirement.com. That's all one word, guys, knollretirement.com. Adam Tolliver, his team, Artisan Financial Strategies. Trust me on this. Give them a call. They're outstanding. All right, sir, cue it up.
Welcome to the majesty.
Every freaking rep.
The elegance.
To win the game. Volley hits the upright. It's no good.
You have entered.
Someone burned down the funeral home. You burnt the funeral home.
Lives will be changed.
Sideline. Touchdown. Unbelievable.
Mothers will cry.
When you see your players give all that they have and you lose that way, it's tough.
Legacies are etched into eternity.
I know who I am.
North, South Dakota was his brother from West Virginia.
This is the Red Zone.
It's good to know.
All right, buddy, I'm ready for these questions. I'm excited to hear what you have for me today because it's a challenge given that it's North Alabama.
It's an easy first down play. I think we're going to be ahead of the chains.
Can I give you a North Alabama number here? Can I tell you something?
Whoa, what is this, a turnover?
No. Mickey Andrews coached there from 73 to 76.
Oh, that's cool.
And the great Trey Jones, our current golf coach at Florida State, is a North Alabama alumna. He's an alumni.
Is he really?
Yeah. Coach that got his coaching start there.
Well, that's cool.
We've got ties to North Alabama, damn it.
Okay, so I'm going to scratch 3rd and 4th down because they were disrespectful of North Alabama.
Wally Burnham, who went on to coach with Bobby Bowden amongst many other places, and obviously that is Shane Burnham, Pat Burnham's dad, great guy, still alive, still with us, and a legendary coach, also coached at North Alabama.
I'm going to scratch the 2nd down question, which disrespects North Alabama.
All right, fire away.
All right, 1st down, easy one. Jordan Travis plays over or under 1/2 of football tomorrow.
Well, it's going to be exactly 1/2 of football, so I don't know what
you got to pick one.
That's not fair.
There's no such thing as a push here.
I don't think he plays any more than
you
a
don't
half
think
of
they're
football.
going to take him out and do the old rah everybody?
I do. When would they do it? First series of the 3rd quarter?
Okay, so you say over.
I'll go over. I wouldn't play him that long, but they will.
Okay. So over 1/2 of football by like a play.
Mm-hmm.
2nd down. All right, we're going off the board here, not Florida State, North Alabama related. More likely to finish the season with 2 losses, and I'm including conference championship games. More likely to finish the season with 2 losses, Washington or Texas?
Texas has to be careful tomorrow.
Yeah, they've got a history with Iowa State.
Iowa State has a great history with Texas.
Then they have Texas Tech, and then presumably, of course, the championship.
Yeah, they're going to beat Texas Tech. Who would they play in the championship game? Oklahoma has another loss. Who would it be?
It's still unclear.
Well, see, that matters. I need to know who
Let's
the hell
say it's
playing.
one of the Oklahoma schools, either one. So let's just slate them there. Washington plays in the Pac-12 championship game against Oregon, and then Washington.
Man, Washington's going to lose the game against Oregon, but if they beat Oregon State, they'll go into that game undefeated, and then.
Yep. See, it's a toughie.
It is a
That's
toughie.
a good
That's a
second
good
down
one.
call.
So we're counting after the conference championship game. Yep. Who's more likely to have 2 losses?
Yep. Texas or Washington?
Texas.
Okay. All right. 3rd down. Got through the play.
I'm torn on this.
Replaying the down. We're replaying the down.
No, if Washington beats Oregon State this weekend, then that will be the right answer. Texas will be the right answer because Washington is going to lose to Oregon, but I don't know that they're going to lose to Oregon State tomorrow. Okay. I'm torn on that game.
That's kind of the question.
Torn on that game. All right.
So your answer was?
I'll go with Texas.
Okay. 3rd down.
I think they both have 2 losses. Yeah.
Florida State's leading rusher in 2024 will be who?
Oh, goodness.
This is a North Alabama question right here.
We have a North Alabama guy?
No, what I'm saying is we're talking about next year. This is a North Alabama question.
Cam Davis.
Oh, you're going to do it.
I love that kid. He's a freak. Let's go.
We will have some guys hitting the portal if that's the case.
I don't care. No, the answer is your favorite player.
Rodney Hill?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Cam's going to push Rodney.
It could be. A couple of 750-yard rushers.
Cam's for real.
Yeah. All right. 4th down.
Uh-huh.
Percent chance, and this is a toughie given what you just said the previous segment. Percent chance we are chewing this March.
Oh, I don't think it's a good percentage. I don't think it's a good chance. I don't like our backcourt, but
and even if there was an increased chance, I don't know. Given what you said, we're in a position to rule on that at this point.
Yeah, I haven't seen him play, Tom. It's toughy. I didn't even go to the exhibition games. So I'm just being honest with the folks out there. I have not.
That's a first in 12, 15 years,
I
20
always
years.
go. I always go to the exhibition games. See, this is what happened when your kids get into high school. So my kid is playing basketball. My kid was playing football. I just have not had the opportunity to go over there because I'm either picking him up from practice, taking him to practice, or going to a game. I just haven't had a chance. And look, seeing my kid play is a lot more important than seeing Florida State basketball play that early in the season for an exhibition game. I'm not doing it.
F my job. I quit.
I don't know, man. No idea. I think the percentage chance that we chewing
over under
40%.
Whoa, that's humongous.
Yeah, we got
4
an
out of
outside
10 times we could make it.
Yeah, we got an outside shot. We could luck our way into like a 12 seed or 13. Yeah, I think so.
Let us celebrate with libations.
Let's go.
That is a big number.
I think the front court's good from what I can tell, and from what the people I've talked to, the front court's good.
4 out of 10.
Back court's a little shaky.
It's also 2 out of 5.
Front court. Yes, it is. 25 out of 100. There you go. How do you want to do it?
You're right.
I know. Imagine that. You want to keep doing this? Anyhow, that's my answer. Those are my red zone answers. We don't have bonus answers today. That's it. That's all. But if you want to learn more about getting your retirement right, folks, KnollRetirement.com. That is KnollRetirement.com. Go talk to Adam. Good people. Honest, hardworking, really smart, great at his job, along with his co-workers and all that they have there. KnollRetirement.com. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
A failed robbery attempt in Havana left 2 men arrested, a security guard dead, and a clerk injured overnight on Wednesday. Shortly after midnight on Wednesday, the Gadsden County Sheriff's Office responded to a shooting in the area of 6688 Florida-Georgia Highway in Havana. 2 men, Kelvin Brown and 21-year-old Tyrone Washington, attempted to rob the internet cafe before gunshots were exchanged between the 2 men and a security guard. Brown was shot by the guard and is currently in the hospital. The guard was also shot and reportedly pushed a female clerk out of the way. He passed away as a result of his injury. Sheriff Morris Young said the security guard was really a hero before he died. The clerk was shot in the ankle and transported to the hospital. The investigation is ongoing, and anyone with information regarding the incident is advised to contact the sheriff's office at 850-627-9233. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Highs around 77 this afternoon. Under partly cloudy skies, northerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly cloudy skies expected tonight, lows around 62. Highs around 77 tomorrow. Mainly sunny skies and calm. Bright sunshine expected Sunday with daytime highs approaching 76. 78 Monday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 67.
Excellence defines us, so we'll never let orthopedic pain and injury define you. TOC is a physician-led team of fellowship-trained specialists, providing the highest level of orthopedic care in the region. With 12 centers of excellence and TOC Now urgent care clinics, our patients access affordable, expert care fast. TOC. Only experts. Schedule an appointment at teamtoc.com.
So everybody knows, Eddie, that you are a spectacular cook. Of course they know that. If they go into Bumpa's, the food is always good. I mean, everything on the menu. Everything at Gordo's is delicious. I always, of course, get the bungalow chungla, as I call it.
The bungalow chung, Jeff?
Is that what is the pork?
The bungalow chung, Jeff.
Okay, the bungalow chungla. It's delicious. All these things, all the items, everything you do, a master cook. But, sir, I would ask you, what is a skill that you possess that you're particularly proud of that nobody would know and that you could share with us here?
Growing hair, Jeff. Growing hair.
You're an asshole. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Three games. Now, luckily, the NFL is a much longer season than the college football season, and we have a lot of weeks left to watch NFL football. But I'm going to have to gather and get it together because, if you will, Tom, cue it up. Mom is up 3 games, swept me last week.
And now for another edition of the Family Pick. Nick.
Go to your room! Ma, the meatloaf!
Take it away, Jeffrey.
All right, so last night I had Baltimore in Baltimore and was a little iffy on the pick at the time that I took them because I thought, I don't know, Burrow may pull this out. But then my man gets hurt, and that game is over before you know it. Mom, did you also have Baltimore?
I did have Baltimore, and I actually was a little iffy myself. But I don't know. I think Baltimore is kind of scary. I really think that they, could go far. So I picked Baltimore, and then Joe Burrow has been hurt a lot since he's been in the NFL.
Yeah.
I know he's good, but Lord knows he can't do much when he's on the bench.
I bring it up all the time. It drives me nuts. He's hurt incessantly. Now, some of that, again, he's taken a beating since joining the league. And when he does play and he's healthy, he's really good. But It is frustrating, and they're 5-5, and they're dead in the water now that he's hurt. And so that's the end of that run for Cincinnati. Baltimore's weird because I agree with you. I think top to bottom, they're the most complete team. Excuse me. And yet, they have 3 losses, and they should have won all 3 of the games that they lost. It's just bizarre.
It is bizarre, and you know what's in those games that they've lost? They've won like the whole game for the most part, and then they lose in the end on some goofy thing.
Well, they were up 2 touchdowns twice in the game against Cleveland the week before, and they blew that game. Very strange, but all right.
Very strange.
You're up 3 games on me, Mama.
I told you shouldn't have picked New England last week.
Yeah.
I tell you got to listen to your mother every now and then.
Well, they had the ball with a chance to go down and win, and Mac got benched.
I told you.
You did.
England, good Lord. I bet you, and I said this last week, I bet you New England hasn't been like 2-8 or whatever they are in like 20 years.
Look it up, guys. Let's find out the last time New England was 2-8. They sucked last year. What were they last year?
They got more than 2 wins, though.
Through their first 10. I think you're probably right. Tom will look it up. You ready? Here we go.
Okay, I'm ready.
Cowboys at Panthers. You're taking the Cowboys. Steelers at Browns.
I know it. I'm taking Pittsburgh because, of course, there again, what's his name is
hurt. Yep.
So I'm taking Pittsburgh because of that, and also because of their coach.
I'm torn on this. Cleveland's got a very good. You got an answer over there?
Looks director was.
It was wicked quick.
He
Good
was
job,
like fiber optic.
What do we got?
The year 2000, Bill Belichick's first in New England.
Okay. His first season in New England, Mom. Bill Belichick.
Fitting it's his last one now too.
Okay. How long ago was that?
2000.
Oh, in 2000.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's 22 years.
Yeah, 23 years. Yeah.
I said 20 years. I'm telling you right now.
Yep, pretty close. All right, I'm going to take Pittsburgh as well because of the injury at quarterback for Cleveland. The Bears are at the Lions. We're going to take the Lions. The Chargers are at the Packers.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm taking the Chargers.
Me too. Although you can never trust them, but I'll take them.
But you sure can't trust Green Bay either.
That's for sure. All right, Arizona's at the Texans.
Oh, yeah, I'm taking the Texans.
Me too. Titans at Jags.
Oh, I'm taking the Jags.
Raiders at Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Giants at Commanders.
Oh, yeah, I'm taking the Commanders.
Yeah. Buccaneers at 49ers.
God, it pains me, but I'm taking the 49ers.
And don't look back because that's an ass kicking.
It probably will be, but I'm going to be screaming loud for my Buckaroos. But yeah, no, I think that's not a good matchup for sure.
It's not a good matchup, is right.
Coaching wise, player wise,
yeah,
everything
across the board is a problem this weekend for the Bucs.
Now, as soon as we've said this, wouldn't that just be something if they actually went there and won, even if it's by 1 point? I mean, I don't expect it to happen. In fact, I may not even watch the game because it'll make me nervous and upset.
Well, you won't be nervous long. It'll be 17-0 early in the second. You'll be all right. You'll know exactly what's happening.
My Lord.
All right, Jets at Bills.
Buffalo. But although that could be a goodie.
Yeah,
say.
They're a mess.
But I'm taking Buffalo.
I'll take Buffalo too, but I'm okay.
I will say that it cracks me up, the look on Josh
Allen's
face when they are like doing something stupid or, getting somebody 2 chances to kick a field goal. He just looks like incredulous, like he can't believe it's happening.
Well, he should look at himself in the mirror after each one of his interceptions because he throws a ton of them.
I know, but it does. When I see his face, it just cracks me up. It's like Home Alone. It's like that.
Yeah, it's
what's his name's face?
Macaulay Culkin. Seahawks at Rams.
Oh yeah, I picked Seattle. I don't know. It's a coin flip to me, but
I'm taking the Rams. I'm gonna go out on a limb and take the Rams here. The Rams bounce back, get a win over the Seahawks. Come on.
Okay.
Probably gonna be 4 down. That's silly. I'm gonna do Vikings and Broncos.
Now that actually Denver seems to be getting on the right track a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm taking Minnesota because I really like that kid Dobbs or whatever. Is that his name? Last name Dobbs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that story, and so I took them last week, and they didn't do me wrong, so I'm picking them again.
Give me the Broncos at home at Mile High. Let's go, Denver. Get it together.
I'm trying to get back in this.
I am. And then finally, this will be interesting. This is a great game. Eagles at Chiefs.
I know. Now, this game, I have no clue. I really don't. And the fact that it's in Kansas City, I know that's big, I think. I know everybody says it doesn't matter, but I think it does.
Evidence be damned.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's a grudge match, though, really, and I think Jalen is really good, just like Patrick is, and I'm taking Philadelphia.
Chiefs win big, Mama. That's 3 straight different. There we go. I got Kansas City.
We're not going to get even, though. You can't win all 3.
I'm winning all 3. Rams, Broncos, Chiefs. Let's go. I'm going to put in a parlay to that end. Those 3 just for fun. I'll make a bet with my bookie.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, don't you think that Philadelphia game is really, that's going to be a barn burner, I think.
Yeah, we should all meet up at a bar and celebrate into the wee hours watching a good football game. I agree.
I'm telling you, it's going to be a good one, I think. You don't have much to worry about this weekend as far as FSU.
No, nothing to worry about. It's North Alabama.
North Alabama, bless their hearts.
Yep.
Okay.
A whole lot of bless their hearts indeed. I love you, Mom. I'll talk to you later.
I love you too. Have a good weekend.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. How about that? Rams. I got to ride with the Rams and the Broncos in the same weekend. Holy moly. I never thought I'd do that.
Yeah, never saw the day coming. You go with McVay and Unlimited.
I'm not happy about it. I won't watch the games. I'll just look at a distance.
Unlimited McVay.
I'll be what's his name in Moneyball. I'm not watching. I'll look at stats.
Billy Bean.
Yeah, Billy Bean driving down the highway. What's the score? That's gonna be.
I have some bad news for you, buddy.
Uh-oh. Who's dead? Lou Holtz die?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not dead.
Okay.
Dead for the season.
Who's dead? Burrow? Ah, God. Oh, well, at least I know now I don't have to watch. I don't have to watch any more Cincinnati football. I'm not even a fan of Cincinnati. I just like Joe Burrow that much. He's my favorite player in the league. Damn it. Did they announce that for real?
They did. Ian Rappaport.
What's wrong with it? Is it shattered?
It's a torn ligament of some kind.
Well, that's better than dragging it out. Every week I'm sitting around anticipating Joe's going to suit up and play, making my plans for the weekend around whether or not what time Cincinnati's kicking off. I can't do it anymore. Heal up, Joe. We'll see you next year, buddy. You'll be back out there kicking ass, I'm sure. Wish the Bucs would trade for Joe Burrow. They should
buy low.
Yeah.
Buy low.
Oh, he's injury-riddled, guys. You got to get rid of him while you can. Let him come to Tampa Bay. Can you imagine? He'd look good in a Bucs uniform. That would be awesome. I'm just dare to dream. It would be awesome. It's not going to happen, but
stages of grief and all.
That sucks. All right. But the Eagles-Chiefs honestly should be phenomenal. I'm almost pissed that we got to wait till Monday night. I wish that were the Sunday night game in a way.
It's a fascinating game.
It's an awesome game. It's a legitimately great game. All right, so we'll do it. There we go. Those are the picks. 3 different. Got a chance to tie it up this weekend. Here we go. Be good. Come back in a moment. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Hello, I'm Dana Brooks.
And I'm Jimmy Basic of Basic Brooks Law Offices.
Traffic cameras are everywhere these days.
And Basic Brooks is partnered with RoadProof to get access to all their vast network of cameras.
This is a valuable tool to help us search for evidence that could help you if you were involved in an accident.
If you've been hurt in an accident, call Basic Brooks and we'll find out if the proof you need is out there.
Call Basic Brooks and we'll do everything we can to help you come back stronger.
Call us now at 850-777-7777.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, T-SparkConstruction.com. We conquer all peaks, we fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, T-SparkConstruction.com.
License number CCC 1331204. This is Jamie McClenny with Trek Financial in Tallahassee. While domestic equities closed down for the third consecutive month at the end of October, valuations remain near historic highs based on most historic metrics. Managing downside risk in your portfolio is one of the biggest challenges you will face in retirement. While you can't control performance, you can control the risk in your portfolio. Markets are going to do what markets are going to do, but a clearly defined risk management protocol can help to mitigate large drawdowns in your retirement nest egg. Valuations remain near historic highs based on most historic metrics. If you're concerned where this might be headed, give me a call at 850-900-5200 and schedule a time for a risk-focused portfolio review. Or you can visit us on our website at trektlh.com. That's trektlh.com.
Make Jamie your first call for that second opinion. Investment advisory services offered through Trek Financial, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. I'm Greg Tisch, and I want to share one of my favorite TCC alumni stories. It's been almost 30 years since Charlie Ward led the 1993 FSU football team to its first national championship, won the Heisman, and became the first Heisman winner to play in the NBA. But did you know, like thousands of students before and since, he started his college career at TCC? We are proud to call Charlie Ward one of our own. Today, he serves on the TCC District Board of Trustees, so you might even get to see him around campus.
TCC thanks our community for 58 years of support. We look forward to moving into the future together.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
I like his at homes a lot. I like our running back room, period. I don't want to overlook everybody. Anybody in that room. I think there's a lot of talent in that room. They will have plenty of options at running back.
Yeah, they'll shuffle. They could play the hot hand too until somebody emerges, and they have varied skill sets. You know, Sam Singleton is somebody who is going to get some run this weekend, I would imagine. And he is he was impressive when I first saw him in camp because he was already larger than Lawrence. And he was already on par with I think the frame of a Keziah Holmes. He hadn't built into it just yet, but you could see that by the time he gets into his upper class years, I mean, that kid's already a track star too in terms of his speed. So maybe he's somebody that tomorrow we get a look at for the first time.
Speaking of getting a look at people, last night I went out to dinner. I won't say where, and I ran into Blake Nicholson and his family. Shout out to his parents and to Blake and his brother who I saw last night. Blake's had a fine first season here in Tallahassee. If you think about expectations of a true freshman linebacker, not much. You don't typically have high expectations for a true freshman linebacker, but he got here and immediately started to put on some size. I thought that was the most, at first glance, his instincts were very good. You'd see in practice his instincts were good. He just didn't have the requisite size to make an impact. And then I kind of felt bad for him because I thought, man, you've got the hard part down. Your diagnosis is right. You're understanding what you're looking at. And when you come from a high school, one of the things that strikes you in college, no matter where you go and play, is how fast plays begin and end. And plays begin and end, and they don't have time for you to kind of figure it out. You gotta be where you're supposed to be. And we've had some kids this year that have marvelous athletic tools that just don't know where to be, and then they come off the field pretty quickly. We've seen a couple of guys in the secondary like, we'd really like to play you. You're just never where I need you to be, and I can't do that. That's how big plays happen. So you know how that can work. It's just so fast, but pretty quickly he had a handle on all of that, and then he also began to put on size working with Josh Storms, I should say, and did a great job. And I think he gets a ton of run tomorrow. In fact, I said that to him last night. I said, well, have fun tomorrow, Saturday, buddy. It seems to me you're going to probably play a lot. And he smiled, and he's very shy, and he just smiled and said, I think so. I was like, all right, I think so too.
The other thing is, and I'll bring this up tomorrow too, when we're at Hotel Indigo beginning at 3:30, which will be fun.
Good times, yeah.
Somebody sent me this on social media, and I thought, you know what? It's a good point. We're celebrating a lot of different things tomorrow.
We are.
You know, seniors and guys that might not be seniors but are going to be gone and moving on to the next level. And it's so cool that, you know, you can have this transition in the portal era be so quick and overnight. Like the guys who worked so hard for Jimbo in 2010 didn't get to see the finish line. Chris Thompson was close in 12.
1 year away, yeah.
He was there in the locker room after. But, you know, those guys couldn't see it through. Not all of them. The vast majority, not everybody, but the vast majority of those types of players, they're multi-year transfers too, are able to kind of see this thing through to the end. And so that we get to celebrate them tomorrow, I think is really cool. It's like combining the 11, 12, and 13 seasons all together in the NIL era. But the other group that is celebrating tomorrow and should be celebrated, a lot of people are going to be without their season tickets next year in the place they've been for decades. And Doak's going to look different. And it's going to be under construction for the first time since I first went to a game. And you know what the erector said looked like.
I do.
It ain't going to be pretty next year, you know, in terms of that side of the field, the alumni side.
I think about this in general of all the construction efforts I've seen here. I mean, I go back, obviously, like you said, to when the erector set was in place and end zones were open on the corners. And my dad was taking me to games. And then later on, I watched them build that facade. And then, you know, I watched the film school be built and all that happened. Well, it's crazy. And now we're going to go through it again.
But to that person, I hear you. That's a good point. There are a lot of people through no fault of their own. You could say it's in the name of progress or whatever. And I'm not even trying to opine on it, whether it's right or wrong. It's just the nature of what has to happen in order for the football program to maximize revenue. Like, I get it. But that sucks. That tomorrow is going to be your last day for a lot of you people out there that have been going for decades. And you're going to have to go to either different places in Doak or you're not going to be coming back.
Well, you'll be priced out. Some people are going to be priced out. I feel for those people. There's no way to not feel bad for those people, but also understand the need for progress. Yeah, it's tough.
It is. It's both at the same time, but they should be saluted as well. You know what I mean? Like it's a bittersweet day. It sucks. It just does.
My dad has his appointment on Saturday before the hours and hours before the game, couple hours before the pregame. He's going over there to meet with the boosters and everybody, and they're going to take him through his options, and we'll see.
A lot of commas.
A lot of commas indeed. By the way, latest update there in regards to recruiting and whether or not we see a flip. Jeremiah Smith is who we're all waiting for here. And Chad Simmons, the director of recruiting for On3, wrote this. Florida State is the threat to Ohio State for Jeremiah Smith. The buzz has picked up since his visit for the Miami game, and the Noles are making this interesting with a month to go. Smith has strong connections at Ohio State, and it starts with Brian Hartline. The communication is still strong there. The confidence in holding on to Smith remains fairly high, but there is some optimism in Tallahassee right now as well. Florida has been in the mix some, but it's Florida State with all of the momentum right now when talking about Ohio State's biggest competition. Ohio State is Ohio State. They check a lot of boxes for Smith, but Florida State is making this very interesting.
Yeah, that's a bit of a
hedge.
Well, it's a stance change. You know, Chad was on this week nationally and said he doesn't think it can happen. Like Florida, it's going to be close down to the wire, but he doesn't think it can happen ultimately.
Well, now he thinks it can happen, and I think it can happen.
That to me sounds like he's getting word from Ohio State, and that's he's been on the Ohio State side of the equation.
Yeah,
and now they're scared.
Yeah,
they're legitimately scared.
Well, and you saw the actions of a grown man acting like a child online, which we talked about earlier this week. So that tells you they're scared.
No, it's not a great look, but you know, until he does. Like this, you know.
Yeah, no. Hold your breath. Buckle up, everybody. Yeah, buckle up, everybody. We'll see. All right, good work out of you. Good work, director. And, of course, at 5 o'clock, we'll be over at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. If you're in town, swing on by. A little happy hour, handshake, and a cold one talking about Florida State. Be good, everybody, and have a great weekend. Peace.